Shalom, shalom. You in Live Israelite School, University of Practical Knowledge, ISUPK, Virginia Biblical Scripture Breakdown class. Most High in Christ. We're getting into tonight. Who are the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel? Who are God's chosen people, the children of God? Everybody, make sure you sign in for attendance. All right, we're going to get into it. We're going to be reading out of Genesis, the 49th chapter, Deuteronomy, the 2nd chapter. Hey, shalom. Brother and sister, Yahweh Bashimel Shabbarakatham, Yahweh Shemal Atah Shemal Bashab. In Genesis, the 49th chapter, there are prophecies that identify as well. Most brothers and sisters, if you've been to class a number of times, you've seen that Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter, has a lot of prophecies in it, or revealing the curses. Well, Genesis, the 49th chapter, right before you understand our forefather Jacob passed, whose name was changed to Israel, right before he passed away, he gave his sons prophecies. You understand? He gave his sons prophecies that's going to identify who the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel are. These are characteristics, some might even call them stereotypes, that identify who the children of God are. You understand? All right. So we're going to get into that. Genesis, the 49th chapter. All right. So we're going to start there. Genesis chapter 49. It's going to reveal some of these things here. All right. Of course, you got any questions? Just type them in there. So we're going to start at Genesis chapter 49 and verse 1. This is what is supposed to happen. This is what happens. You understand? We obey the Most High. Things are done righteously and in order. This brother is in his nice old age. He's got to see generations of his family be born. This is the proper way for life to end. You understand? This is how it's supposed to happen. All right. So Genesis, the 49th chapter. Hey, shalom, Hebrew. Yahweh Shem Shabbat. Ready to get it on. Most High in Christ. Shalom. All right. So we got Genesis 49. Damn right. So Genesis chapter 49. These are some of the lesser known or lesser discussed prophecies that identify the children of Israel, in addition to the curses that are in Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter, which if we got some time, we might get into some of them as well. So let's start at Genesis chapter 49 and verse 1. All right. Genesis chapter 49 and verse 1.
Khan. Genesis chapter 49 verse 1. And Jacob called unto his sons and said,
right,
gather yourselves together, that
right.
I may
Jacob.
tell you that which shall.
Hold on 1 second. 1 second. This is Jacob, our forefather Jacob. Of course, like I just mentioned, he's about to die. He's getting ready to die. That's why he's calling his sons. He's going to give them prophecies that are going to contain the future of what is going to happen with these sons, as these sons grow and later on, of course, become the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel. These prophecies or these characteristics are what is going to mark each tribe. All right. At this time, they aren't a tribe. They're just his sons. All right. So he's telling them, he's got a prophecy that's going to explain to them from the Lord how they will be identified. Of course, it's also prophesied in Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter, which was the covenant that the Most High gave to Moses for him to tell the children of Israel that these curses would come upon us if we did not fulfill the terms to the contract, which is what a covenant is. The old covenant, the new covenant, these were the terms of the contract that we agreed to serve the Most High. These characteristics or these prophecies that he is getting ready to read is before we became 12 tribes of the nation of Israel. At this point, we were just him giving a prophecy to his sons. Very important to understand this. All right. So keep going.
Khan. All right. That I may tell you that which shall befall you in the last days.
Now he's saying in the last days. These aren't near the last days. This is the beginning. His sons are the beginning of his strength. For all you that don't understand, the Christian church puts a very feminine spin on everything. They make the Bible very feminine, very mom-based, very mom, grandma, because that's what you see mostly in church. That is completely the opposite of God. That's the opposite of the Bible. That's the opposite of proper structure and order. He's telling these prophecies to his sons because men are supposed to be in charge of the family, in charge of the nation, in charge of deciding who gets married, who lives where, the rules, the laws, the land, the wealth, the resources. Men are supposed to be in charge of all these things. And it's very strategic that America has done so to make sure that women are in charge of the family and the resources and everything. And that is how you destroy a nation. That's why he's telling this to his sons. All right. So keep going.
Verse 2. Gather yourselves together and
Tell them
hear.
get together and hear. Want everybody to get together and listen. Just imagine an old grandfather calling together all the family. You understand, one last time before he goes. Before he dies, he's explaining this to his family, what's going to happen. Keep going.
Ye sons of Jacob,
Sons
and
of Jacob
hearken
again.
unto Israel your father.
Hold on 1 second, brother. 1 second. 1 second. Everywhere where you see the commas, the parentheses, the semicolons, if, and, or but, all of those things require a stop or a pause. Because when the scriptures say line upon line and precept upon precept, everywhere you see one of those breaks, that's something that needs to be broken down. There are words in there, things that's happened.
One time.
The
Yes,
definitions could be
Salakia,
unclear.
sir. I don't know if the sound, if it's just me or it's a little muffled, the sound.
Okay, on my end. You hearing that?
Okay,
with the what? Let's check that. Can everybody hear clearly? Y'all type in if y'all hearing something. Y'all hearing me muffled or breaking up? Y'all just listening live. Y'all type in. Let me know. Am I sounding clear or I'm sounding jammed up? We got in there. Y'all let me know. Gadar, Sister Carletta, Sister Bernice. Y'all type in here. Let me know if y'all able to hear me clear. If y'all getting some static, some muffled, some feel. Okay, Instagram says I'm clear. All right, Instagram. I'm doing this check for Facebook. I mean, not Facebook, for Instagram. All right. Y'all type in. Let me see. How am I sounding? It says both sounds Tawab. Both sounds Tawab. You call your Allah. Make sure you sign in for attendance. Okay, everybody say I'm Tawab. It might just be the reception on your end. Everybody say
Come.
Who are y'all? Right? So So when it says
I might have to come out and come back in. I'm gonna try to come out and come back in.
All right, go ahead. All right. So he's saying, ye sons of Jacob. All right, no sweat. Could be his connection. Ye sons of Jacob, and hearken unto Israel your father. Of course, Jacob's name was changed to Israel. Verse 3. He started off with his sons, the firstborn, Reuben, or Ra'aban in the Hebrew. He says, Reuben, thou art my firstborn. You're my firstborn son. Reuben was the first son that he had, my might and the beginning of my strength. Your son is the beginning of your strength. Your son has the power. That is how you will come back into the earth, because of your son. That male reproduces and carries the seed of the lineage. That is carried down and passed from man to man. That is done through the seed or the sperm that is in a man. It reproduces the nation. It reproduces that family. You understand? It's very important. It's very spiritual to understand why these things. The Christian church does not teach how important a man is, how important your seed is, who your father is. These are extremely important concepts to learn when it comes to the Bible, because Christianity is based on slavery and white supremacy, and it comes from our oppressors. Our people do not learn the very important, complex things of the Bible. the important things about God, who your father is. That's why he's saying, my son is the beginning of my strength. Because when I am older and I'm not as strong, and the muscles and the strength and the energy and everything I had as a young man, when that begins to fade, the strength you are supposed to have is your sons. Your sons will strengthen you. Why will your sons be your strength? You can tell me why. What will those sons be able to provide? You understand? We got TK Customs listening here. All right. We got brothers in the class here, Instagram, Facebook. What will your sons be able to provide now that you are running out of things? What will they be able to provide? Just give me some ideas. All right. Y'all type in real quick. All right. Let me know. See what y'all got. All right. Y'all type in. Just give y'all a few moments. We at 7:17. All right. We're doing good. Let son be able to provide. You call your Allah and your Raj, Sister Carletta, Yagadar. What we got in here? What is the importance of that son? America says those sons aren't important. America said you could put your son in a dress and get him a wig and weave and pretend like you got a daughter. That's what America says. America says that baby ain't important at all. You go have an abortion. You don't have the money. You ain't ready to start a family. Just kill the damn baby. Who cares? Ain't nothing important. Wasn't a reason that you ended up pregnant. It wasn't like God sent a life to be brought into the earth. All right. TK Custer said protection. That's good. Protection. Very important. You understand? There's a lot of brothers in protection, food, shelter. Very good. Very good. All right. All of those are very important. How will you eat when you're young? You go find something to eat. Your wife provides something to eat. Or in our times, we herded sheep. We herded cattle. Very good. This TK Custom says, is a brother or a sister replying that don't have you in for attendance, so the officer taking the attendance can get you down. But protection, reproduction, that's correct. You understand? That son is going to provide you with more sons and more granddaughters. That son is also going to provide you with daughters-in-law. Those daughters-in-law to extend and continue your family. Protection is correct. You become an old man, you aren't as strong. You aren't able to move as quick, to see as well, to spot scams and people trying to hustle you and rob you and steal you and take advantage of you. You understand? Like all of those things. All right, no sweat, I got you. Shelter. When you aren't able to work anymore, you understand? That's right. You're raising up a son where your son is able to go forth and move a life. Yes, a married couple. That's correct. Married, both. You understand? Now you're getting stronger and stronger. Okay, Most High in Christ. I see what you're saying. Throughout. All right. Getting stronger and stronger while you are not getting stronger. You're not getting stronger. Your muscles aren't getting stronger. Your good, strong running days and wrestling bulls and picking up sheep and doing all of that, you're becoming less and less because, as the Bible says, the glory is fading. You're getting older. But now you have sons who will be stronger, sons to carry on your name. This brother, our forefather Jacob, is telling his sons what will happen to them in the future to make sure these sons that he's raising are going to become a nation. There's a heritage that is passed down. Our dietary laws. This is how we become a nation from a father raising sons. Those sons raise sons and daughters. Those daughters become wives, become mothers, becomes the assistant to keep that family strong. That is the natural cause, the natural course and purpose for a woman. That's why the Lord gave Adam dominion, and he said, it is not good that man shall be alone. I will give unto him a helpmeet. That is the purpose why the Lord created a man. This backwards American, lesbian, feminist, LGBT, capitalist society is completely against God at every single turn. This whole idea that your woman is working somewhere else, making some other man and his family and their corporation and their courts and government system rich by sitting at their desk in their offices, running their company, their hotels, their restaurants, and their businesses 9, 10, 8 11 hours a day and night shift doing the damn security jobs. That's completely against the Most High. You understand? That is a resource. That is your children, your women and children, your manpower. Those are resources that have been taken away from our people because we are in captivity. That is not the way the Lord set life up. Hey, shalom, brother.
Shalom, so you have Hashem
Right?
Shabbat.
All right. So he's saying, Reuben, in Genesis 49:3, Reuben, thou art my firstborn, my might, my strength, the beginning of my strength. You understand? You are how I start. Why? Because that son is going to make future generations. He's going to continue that line, and a few generations down the line, what is going to happen? That son is going to have a boy. The son of that son, 3-4 generations down the line, when your great grandson, his son has a boy, that will be you coming back into the earth again to be raised by one of your male descendants. Because reincarnation is in the Bible. You don't just die and go live in some sandcastle in the sky somewhere, or some pit of fire forever like a damn rotisserie. That's not what's in the Bible. You understand? So he's explaining, you're my strength, my firstborn, the excellence of the excellency of dignity and the excellency of power. It's a prophecy because the tribe of Reuben or Rehoboam are these so-called Seminole Indians. You understand? Out of all the wars that our oppressor has had against the native tribes, you understand, whether it be the tribe of Isupk, which is native to America. They are the natives of Texas, the natives of California. That the tribe of Isupk are natives from those lands. They just drew lines and murdered enough people and forced them to go behind walls and borders. You understand? No, abortion does not prevent regeneration. No, your male lineage down the line will bring you back. So let's say if a man only has daughters, well, his sons cannot bring him back. But somewhere along the line, you would have had male relatives. Those male relatives, a cousin, a brother, something like that, or some cousin, some relative that you do not even know. They will have a boy several generations down the line. That's how you will come back. You understand? Our families are much bigger than these little 1, 2, 3 children families that we started to have now after desegregation, after integration, after crack, after heroin, after abortion, after the feminist movement, after the women's liberation movement. After those movements, our families got smaller and smaller, which was the purpose for those movements. You understand? Before those movements, all the tribes had gigantic families. We all came from huge families. You understand? So that's not a problem. The Lord will find a way to get you back. But no, abortion does not prevent regeneration, but abortion is murdering someone, some brother, some sister who was supposed to be regenerated. The Lord put them inside of a sister. When that sister had sex with a brother, or he put that baby inside of, the scripture says, I knew thee, I formed thee inside of thy mother's womb. The Lord put a spirit inside of that woman, which is why she ends up getting pregnant. It's not magic. It's not osmosis. You understand? The Lord does these things. And when you kill that baby, you're killing a person that the Lord had already assigned to come back and live again. All right? So now, this is what he's saying. The tribe of Reuben, the Seminole Indians, they never signed any treaties with the United States government. Out of all the wars they had with the Plains Indians, the Gadite tribes from the West Coast, the East Coast, all the way on the West, they never signed any treaties with the United States government. You understand? Talking about the so-called Seminole Indians. All right. So Trooper Kazaki, take over from Genesis 49 and verse 4.
Khan, sir.
All right.
Genesis
49. All right, go ahead. You got it.
Salakia, sir. Genesis chapter 49, verse 4. Unstable as water.
The Lord says the tribe of Reuben or Rehoboam is unstable as waters, not stable at all. You understand? He's going to explain why. Keep going.
Thou shalt not excel.
You will not excel. The tribe of Reuben shall not excel. They're not going to rise up and excel into prominence. As a matter of fact, most of the country, very few people know Gadites still alive. Even less people know that Seminoles are still alive. You understand? The Lord said that Reuben would not excel. By right, according to law, the firstborn son inherits the inheritance of the father when the father goes. But the father, which is Jacob, at this time, he's going to explain that that son who is supposed to have it, which is Reuben, is not going to inherit it. He's not going to excel the way that the firstborn son is supposed to excel by the strength of taking over that family and all of the wealth and resources that that father had before he died. So keep going.
Because thou wentest up to thy father's bed.
Right. He's explaining you are not going to excel because of something that you did. You went up into thy father's bed. He had sex with one of Jacob's concubines, which would be one of his so-called stepmothers. You understand the way that this society explains it today? He had sex with one of his father's wives. You are not allowed to have sex with your stepmother. You understand? With your brothers, your sisters, any children of your mother or your father, any children of any of your father's wives, their mothers, you're not allowed to have sex with them. You understand? That's against the Most High. It is unlawful sex. And though the Christian church does not teach this, it is very imperative in this wicked, evil Christian society that you explain and learn God's laws and rules on sex. Because just like his laws and rules on what to eat, what is murder, what is killing versus what is murder, it is imperative to learn, because in this evil society, they will promote every vile affection that is possible. And because the Christian churches gave us songs and dances and tambourines all of our life, we've never actually learned what rules God said that we can and cannot do. So as a result, any and everything is constantly happening. You cannot have sex with your stepbrother, with your stepsister. You cannot have sex with the children of any of your father's wives because of this silly Christian society, any of your father's girlfriends, any of your father's, you understand, you cannot have sex with a woman, not the children of your father, not the children of your mother, not the children of your father's other women. You cannot have sex with any of them. You understand? All right. So keep going.
Then defilest thou it, Salakia.
And you defiled it. You defiled your father's bed by having sex with one of his wives. Because of this, you will not excel. You should have never done this evil thing. This will not only mark you, but this is what is going to happen to the future generations that come from you. You understand? The action, this is a very important concept to learn throughout the Bible. The actions that you take will affect the future generations of your people. It's very important. There is no YOLO. This whole concept of you only live once, I'm out for myself, that is the reason why things are as bad as they are now. The concept of, I'm going to do whatever I need to do to get ahead. Everyone's slitting everybody's throats to get a crumb, to make it another day. There's no rules. There's no anything. That concept comes from our oppressor, who was the first murderer. Like John 8:44, he was a murderer from the beginning. That is not the way we are supposed to live our lives. We're not wild animals. We're not lions or wolves killing whatever we can come across to survive. That is not how life is supposed to be. That is what life became because we disobeyed the Most High. And if we want to make life better for the future generations of our people, and we had all better get in the Isupk and learn to serve the Most High. You understand? So keep going.
He went up to my couch.
Couch.
Slakia. Couch.
All right. Went up to the couch. Talking about he had sex with one of his wives, and the father knew about it. And because of that, he is not going to be the head of the family. He's not going to be in charge anymore. All right. So give me verse 5.
Verse 5. Simeon and Levi are brothers, are brethren.
Simeon, right. Simeon and Levi. That's Shemaiah in the Hebrew, who are the so-called Dominicans, and Levi, which is Loya in the Hebrew, who are so-called Haitians. You understand? Simeon and Levi are brethren. Now, why is it saying that they are brethren? Why does it say that? Who knows? All right. Simeon and Levi are brothers. Why would it say that they are brethren? This is Jacob talking to his sons. They're all brothers. This is a family meeting. It's a father and his sons. You understand? So why does it say they are brethren? Why would it need to say that? Who wants to give it a shot? All right. Who wants to give it a shot? Anybody know? Same mother and father. Not necessarily. Not necessarily. They went to ear together. They were violent. Same family. Well, they're all the same family. Just so war. All right. So let me just make this clear. Because of Christianity, it seems confusing. The Bible says the Most High is not the author of confusion. Christianity makes life confusing. Your fathers, you understand, your fathers, there's no stepchildren. That's a Christian concept. That concept of legitimate, illegitimate children, that comes from the Julian marriage laws. Comes from Julius Caesar's, one of the Caesars in Rome. They made marriage laws to officially make marriage between one man and one woman for a few reasons. Very important. A few reasons. One of the reasons was lesbianism and homosexuality was so rampant in the Greco-Roman Empire, which later just became the Roman Empire. It was so rampant that it was very hard to have families. You cannot have a society without families. It takes mother and fathers to raise a family. Well, these heathens did not understand the concept, our ways and laws about how to have a family. The Most High gave us laws and ways that would make us above all people on the face of the earth. A man is not forbidden from having more than one wife. Not 2 wives, not 3 wives, but as many wives as he would like. As long as they do not belong to another man already, you understand, he is allowed to have multiple wives if he so chooses. You understand? Their marriage laws was to make one official legitimate wife so that they could make and have a family. That way they can have structure, and their life is not just about children from women who are prostitutes in the brothels, and the actual relationships that the society will take seriously will be the one that everyone wants, which is orgies and a bunch of men and a bunch of women together having sex with children and everything else without rules. They needed to do this amongst their people because they are wild, lustful bastards. And without these rules, they could not have a society, and they would have children everywhere. Without these rules, you won't have rules on how to deal with your children, which is a huge problem that we have in the Black and Hispanic community and Native American community as well, because we don't have the Most High's laws, and we are trying to live in our oppressor's way of having a family. You understand? So now They had to make a legitimate children, which is these are the children from the woman that you are going to be with and have a family. Our laws and rules, you have sex with that woman, you now have a family with her, whether you have children or not. This is permanent. You cannot undo it. And this takes and puts a great responsibility and burden on the decisions that you make, because you are not allowed to have sex with a woman just because it's summer or it's party or it's fun or you're drunk. This is not a decision you can just randomly make, because you can never undo it. Society will not let you undo it. Your parents, nobody else's parents, the laws, the governor, the priest, everyone in charge, you cannot get from under this. You get no second chance. This is your husband. If you are a woman, this is permanent, which is why the father is supposed to decide. In this evil society, having the woman allowed to decide is absolute disaster. From 14 to 74, it is absolute disaster. You understand? Which is why there's so many complaints about the state of relationships and marriage and raising your kids, and the families in disarray and everyone's at each other's throats, because this way that the Christian church has taught our people to have a family is a fairy tale. It doesn't exist. It's never been the way that God set up. And the legitimate children, according to that life, is the children from a woman that you get a ring and a piece of paper and a document from the courts that says we are officially married. The problem with that is you can change your mind 20 minutes later, get another document from the courts that says I changed my mind. You understand? Like, that's not what God calls marriage. And this is what he's explaining. So when it talks about their family, because I just wanted to make that clear, that's correct. Also, Yagadar got it. That's correct. It says Simeon and Levi are brothers, not because they just have the same father and mother. My children from one wife versus my children from this wife, that does not make them less family. You understand? They're not less family because they have different mothers. They're all my children. They're not less of brothers and sisters. Christianity teaches that nonsense. You understand? The reason why, that was a good point that a lot of y'all brought out. It was a very good point. But when it talks about Simeon and Levi are brothers, exactly, because the Haitians, or the so-called Haitians, who are the tribe of Levi, and the so-called Dominicans, who are the tribe of Simeon or Shemawan, they live and they were prophesied to live on the same island. The island at one point in time is called Hispaniola, which today is known as the Dominican Republic and Haiti. Two different tribes living on the exact same island. Very uncommon. You understand? And this was a prophecy that described them as what would happen to them in the latter days, which is where we are now. So keep going.
Instruments of cruelty are in their habitation.
Instruments of cruelty are in their habitations. The tribes of Simeon and Levi, they are known, you understand, for instruments of cruelty. They are known for a religion. Their religion that they practice, that is it's not unique to these two tribes only, but these two tribes are known for the religions that they have that are specifically about cruelty. It's not about serving God. It's not about getting closer to God. It's not about being righteous or upstanding. These two religions of Santeria, which is one half of the island with Dominican Republic, and the other religion of Voodoo, which is the other half of the island in Haiti. These two religions are specifically for hurting people. They're specifically for cruelty. You understand? That is what they're for. That is what they're known for, these islands. You understand? These are prophecies that are in the Bible when it talks about instruments of cruelty are in their habitations. One of the most famous, or rather infamous, things that the tribe of Levi, or the so-called Haitians, are known for is what? What is the tribe of Levi known for? If you don't know anything about Haiti, you know this, that you've heard your entire life, even though you may have never, ever in your life seen a Haitian before. What do you know about Haiti? You may have never met a Levite before. What do you know?
Salaki, sir.
Trooper Kazaki, you said Salaki, go ahead.
Dealing with voodoo. We're heavy into that.
Exactly. Voodoo. I just gave it to you. Voodoo. No, voodoo is not good. Neither is Christianity, neither is Islam, none of them. But this tribe, remember, these are prophecies that are going to identify these 12 tribes in the latter days. Right now, this is just a father talking to his 12 sons, telling them what's going to happen to them in the future generations of their offspring as he is about to die. You understand? This is a prophecy from the Most High that he's going to give to his sons so that they will know what happened. This Bible, the Lord gave us such a gift in this Bible that it gives us the future of what is going to happen to our people, and it gives us the opportunity to serve the Most High so that he will be with us. He even tells us, if you do this, you'll be blessed. This is what's going to happen. Because you did this, this is what's going to happen to your children. This is what's going to happen to you down the line. No other religion, no other people who claim that they know the Bible, they claim that they have some connection to their gods and their cultures, don't have any prophecies that at every point in time in history, you can read and see that the prophecies that the Lord gave to these prophets are now happening at that time and happening now. You understand? All of them are witchcraft. That's correct. They are witchcraft. But the biggest witchcraft is the Christianity. There is no bigger witchcraft than Christianity. Everyone can recognize that voodoo is evil. They can recognize that. However, no one recognizes the evil of Christianity. It's a religion ran by child molesters. That from that birth, the LGBT community, through the down low, through your choirs, through the access to children. You understand that they are repeatedly given by sisters who keep taking children to church when everybody knows, every comedian, every judge, every lawyer, every politician, every religious member of any religious community full well knows the innumerable amount of child molestation and sexual assault cases against the Christian church overall. Yet and still, Black and Hispanic women pile their kids up in church every Sunday. That is witchcraft. That's witchcraft. You understand? Thanks be to the Most High that the Christian churches are shutting down in record numbers, left and right, man. Finally, Lord willing, a generation of children can grow up without being molested by a goddamn preacher or a choir director or some deaconess. Because them church ladies is molesting everybody. They don't like to talk about it. You understand? There would be no R. Kelly if it wasn't for them church ladies. Everybody mad at a pimp beating and selling prostitutes on the street corner. But if you listen to any of those documentaries when those pimps talk about their life, about how they started putting women out on the street to have sex for money, all of them, most of them, if not all of them, like Iceberg Slim, like Minister Seymour, they're going to tell you that they were molested as children by little church ladies. While their daddy worked, the church ladies was babysitting and molested him and his brother and R. Kelly and his brother, and now everybody's hooked on cocaine. You understand? There's a direct correlation to this, but that's a little bit off topic there. Let's get back on this here, what we're talking about. Simeon and Levi, they live on the same island known as Dominican Republic in Haiti. They live together. Instruments of cruelty are in their habitations. They're known for being notoriously cruel to each other. Most of the tribes that have violence, this is one tribe being violent against itself. The tribe of Judah is known for getting in gangs and brutalizing each other. Tribe of Judah from one side of the street, pimps up, hoes down. There you go. Iceberg Slim, his life story. You understand? Minister Seymour, his life story. You understand? When you start to look and listen to it, there's a very central theme about how they end up into these alternative lifestyles. You understand? So, all right, they are notoriously cruel to each other. The Dominicans and the Haitians on that one island, they are notoriously cruel and hate each other with a bitter hatred. A 1992 Blood and Crip Gangster Disciple Vice Lord East Coast versus West Coast bitter hatred. A Norteño Sureño 18th Street versus MS-13. You understand? Nieta versus Bloods in the prisons in New York. A very deep ingrained hatred that they are known for, even though they live on the same island with each other. That is characteristics describing these two tribes. All right, so keep going.
Verse 6. Oh, my soul.
Oh, my soul. You understand? There's an old black man talking. He said, oh, my soul. You understand? Keep going.
Come not thou unto their secret.
Don't come near their secret. He's saying, I don't come near their secret. Don't get near their secrets. Don't get near their secret things and their altars with the skulls and the goat heads and the chicken heads and the blood and cutting out goat's tongues and putting poison on people and taking their pictures and burning them up and putting spells and curses on people. For those of you that do not know, voodoo is just poison. You're poisoning people. That's what it is. The Haitians, what happened here? The brothers and sisters of the tribe of Levi, they used voodoo to poison the French. That voodoo, the Haitians were the tribe of Levi. And the Levites, who were the priests, had a very broad job. It wasn't just doing the duties and the sacrifices in the temple, because the Levites lived in and amongst every tribe, because they were the priesthood of the nation. So they were Levites everywhere, all throughout the land of Israel. You understand? That's why you brought your offerings to the temple. The offerings that you brought of those sheep, those oxen, your first fruits, your best, your drink offerings, your meat offerings, the things that you grew and took care of, your best, you gave to the Most High, which you gave to the priests. And the priests, that is how they lived, survived, and ate, because they took the things for the Most High on behalf of the Most High, and then they came before the Most High for your sins. That's how the nation worked and functioned. So now, you understand? That's what that's talking about there. So when it's saying don't come near their secret, the Levites knew how to deal with the medicines and different herbs and things like that. And they knew what herbs to take and give you, because slaves were doing what? Serving the food, serving the drinks, growing the food and the crops. You some rich, fat oppressor sitting in a plantation that is filled with, is filled with slaves. They're making your food, cooking your food, baking your food, growing your food. You don't know what the hell is in that ground. You don't know. Slaves working with other slaves. You in the house getting rich. You understand? Drinking lemonade. Well, they knew what herbs to put into the food to cause your heartbeat to slow down to damn near to where it's barely beating, to where everyone would think that you're dead. And what would happen is, as the people believed that their loved ones had died, what did they do naturally? They go and bury them. So they would take their loved one and then they would go and bury them in the ground. And because of the herbs that the Levites gave, their hearts would get down so very low to where everyone just assumed that they were dead. And then after a certain period of time, after they've been buried, because everyone thinks that they are dead. If you do a surgery, if you go into surgery, they have today they have chemicals and things that they give you through your IV, through your veins. They'll put a mask over your face so they can give you some gas, some anesthesia. Well, there were herbs that did similar to those things. Now, imagine you're in the 14, 15, 1600s. Nobody has this vast knowledge of medical science and things. These are just, poor peasants and inbred heathens from Europe that have a supply of people that are better, stronger, faster, smarter, that make them rich, because our God is against us for disobeying him. That's the only reason they have this power. We were already smarter than them. That's why they passed the law to make sure that we couldn't read. If you read, especially the Bible, they'd cut your tongue out. They'd burn your eyes out. You understand? Because they knew that we were far superior to them, and they had to at every turn suppress us. That's what the lynchings was about. They weren't just lynching poor families in the South. They were lynching the shop owners, the business owners, the land owners, the people who were wealthy and successful, so that the community would suffer and fall into decay, and poor whites could come and steal all the wealth and the resources. They did it for 100 years. Textbook called 100 Years of Lynching is one of our textbooks that we use in the Isupk. You can go and read about 100 years of lynching that they did. This is after centuries of slavery, after the Trail of Tears, gassing Mexicans on the American border, forcing them to take gasoline baths. You understand? This was before the Nazis, before Adolf Hitler, before World War II. They were already doing these things to our people. You understand? So when they put these herbs into their food, into their drinks, the people would go into a comatose state, everybody around. You understand? They figure they're dead, they bury them. Once they come out of that state and the herbs and things wore off, you have a people that have been buried in the ground for an extended period of time. Once you go a certain period of time without oxygen, your brain becomes permanently damaged. You understand? So now that when they come up out of the ground, you buried somebody that's alive. Somebody that's alive, that's digging up under the ground. What are they going to do? They're buried in the ground. They're going to be digging their way out of the ground and trying to get the oxygen. But their brain is severely damaged because of oxygen deprivation. Now you have people, they can't barely move. They can't walk straight. They can't talk very clear. They got severe brain damage. They've been in a comatose state for a while. They're weakened. They look half dead. You done already dressed them up in your funeral attire, and now they're coming up out of the ground. What does this sound like? Every TV show, every video game. What does this sound like now? Who knows? You understand? Who knows? All right. You want to give it a shot? Want to give it a shot? All right. Let me give y'all a few moments to respond. Who is this? The people that everybody thinks that they're dead. Yes. Zombies. And there's another thing that Haiti is known for. Zombies. Zombie, zombie, zombie. There you go. Zombies. Yes. Voodoo and zombies. The dead coming back to life. All of that is what they fed this story about Haiti, to dehumanize these brothers and sisters, when really they just poisoned them. They just poisoned them. That's all they did. The Levite brothers and sisters, they poisoned them. They ate the poison. They got sick. They began horrible vomiting and diarrhea on themselves. They break out in hives and rashes. They start to cough. You got magic. Remember how they thought people who could do new medicine, they called them a witch. They would burn you at the stake. The Salem witch trials in Salem, Massachusetts. They would burn you alive and accuse you of being a witch because you were smarter than this stupid priest who couldn't read or write, who didn't know about magic or herbs or science. Everything with education was of the devil. They'd kill you. They said jazz music was of the devil. Slaves being able to read was of the devil. Your brown skin was of the devil. Everything was the devil, to the devil. You understand? So that's where that comes from. And these are stereo and witch doctors. There you go, another one. Channeling the spirits. All of that is demons on people. It's the exact, so blow powder in your face or put the powder in your food. Put the powder in your food. Put it in your drink. Sprinkle it on your crops. You understand? Like all of these things, like this is what happened. Same way that a drug dealer mix up the pills and he sells Percocets. Percocets, if you tear your AC, you tear your Achilles tendon, you rip your bicep, you're in pain, there's a place for medicine. There's a place for morphine. There's a place for this medication. If you take it because you're sad and it's Tuesday and you know it gives you a little buzz, now you're practicing witchcraft. You understand? The Lord said, don't smoke anything. You light something you smashing up pills to put them in your weed, you are practicing witchcraft. You selling some potion, to change the way that people react, you selling some witchcraft. You understand? Like all of these things, all damn right, sis, all of those things there. But they gave this moniker to the tribe of Levi. And that's what Levi was known for, when in reality, many cultures across the planet did these things, and they took this customs. You understand? And that's what they've been known for. And this is a biblical prophecy, in addition to the ones in Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter, that identify each tribe. So we want to move along a little bit so we can get through the breakdown. So let's get some more. Keep going, Kazaki.
Unto their assembly.
So like, start from the top. Tell them where you're reading that and just start that scripture from the top.
Genesis 49, chapter 6. O my soul,
you got it.
Come not thou into their secrets.
Don't come into their secret. Don't learn their secrets. Don't find some altar with a bunch of skulls and a bowl to chop up herbs and poisons and tongues and pitches stapled on the wall with all kind of roots and things around it, chanting to demon spirits, chanting to ancient African gods and all of those things, conjuring up demons. You understand? That's all that is. The Christian church does the same things with all those statues of Paul and Mary and Peter and all of these things, but it's not recognized as conjuring up demons. You understand? All of that praise and worship music, that's conjuring up demons. You understand? That's all that is. It has nothing to do with the God of the Bible. God said, he said, take away from me the noise of thy songs. God said way back in the time of Amos that we should not be singing songs to him, because our entire nation of people decided to not obey the Most High. They singing songs to God and then go eat pork. The biggest singer of the songs to God is the homosexual, is Bishop Hezekiah Walker, Bishop T.D. Jakes, Kurt Franklin, you understand? Donnie McClurkin. That's who's singing, squealing, hitting all the high notes that you think is in the name of Jesus. And that is how the Christian church and the LGBT community used and worked together to become so strong in the black community, which is why when you see a grown man pretending to be his grandmother on the stage, everybody laughing and think it's funny. I don't know how the hell black people made Tyler Perry a billionaire. They made it because they saw a grown man in lipstick and a dress, and they said it was hilarious. And Big Mama and Eddie Murphy, every time he dressed up as the Clumps, and Shanae and Big Mama, you understand? That is because the Christian church has not given us the rules that the Most High gave us. Hey, no sweat, sister. Most High in Christ. All right. You thank the Lord. Thank the Most High by staying in class. That's what you do. All right. Most High in Christ says. So that's what the Lord says. So keep going. They're secret. Go ahead.
Unto their assembly.
Their assembly. They're gathering together with those gatherings, for those voodoo gatherings and all of those things, and the Santeria gatherings and all of those things. Like you said, don't come near that. It's specifically. This is not like when you go in, the people who are Muslims don't believe that they are serving an idol. They believe that they are actually serving God to them. The people in church don't believe that they're actually serving idols. They believe that they're serving God in that church. You understand? This religions that the Bible is talking about with Simeon and Levi is not for getting power from God. It is for getting power from and to do evil. Even though these other religions, we do evil to ourselves in these other religions as well, but that is the purpose for these religions. All right, so keep going.
My honor.
Is it my honor? Go ahead.
Be not thou united.
Don't let them be united. Let them be divided. Don't let them be united together. Why is he saying don't let them be gathered together? Now, mind you, this is a father talking about his sons. This is a biblical prophecy, but when you read the Bible, you have to realize that this is not a novel. He's not writing a book. This is him talking to his sons, and the Lord is telling Moses what happened so he can write these things down. Remember, When Moses flees Egypt the first time after killing that Egyptian and hiding his body in the sand, the second day he found out that the two brothers who were fighting each other, they saw him murder that Egyptian the previous day for beating on one of the Hebrews. Moses found out, and he figured they're going to tell on me, so he ran out of Egypt. And Most High met Moses. That's when he encountered the burning bush. The Lord is telling Moses what has taken place. He's writing these events down up until you get to the book of Exodus, where you're getting real-time information as to what happened while we were in Egypt, while we're coming out of Egypt. The Lord has given us these rules. Pharaoh won't let us go. You'll get into plagues. So all of this are the recordings of what happened that the Most High is telling Moses to write down during those 40 days. All right. So, but this isn't a book. This is just what happened with our family. It so happened that this is the only family God cares about, because this family is his people that he chose to be special above all of the other families that he made. You understand? So keep going.
For in their anger they slew a man.
Right. In their anger, they killed a man. They slew a man. So look, this is what it's talking about. When we came to live amongst the heathen, Abraham had a daughter. He had a daughter. Daughter's name was Diana or Diana. Now, this was Hamite custom, which is still many of their customs to this day. That's why if you see any of these black leaders that want to go to Africa, Africa, because Africa, like many other countries in Asia and India, they don't have laws against sex crimes. Like they don't have a law that says you cannot have sex with children. You can't have sex with a woman who does not want to have sex with you. There's no law preventing you outright from doing such a thing. So there's not charges that are going to be brought up against you like here in America. You have charges because that is a crime. You understand? It's not a crime because it's the Europeans' culture. It's a crime because it's our culture from the Bible. And our oppressors have structured their empire in a name and word about how they have their legal things, even though they're still evil with their legal proceedings, based on the guidelines that the Bible outlines. You understand? So now what we have here is saying they slew a man. There was a Hamite who wanted to marry their sister Diana or Diana, but his Hamite custom was just to go and just snatch a woman up and rape her. And then later on, you just tell, the father, I really love your daughter, let us be together. I'm going to give you some money. Let us be together. I want to marry your daughter. She's very beautiful. You understand? Let me see if I can get that story. I think it's Dana. I spelled it wrong. D-I-N-A-H. Daughter. Let me see if I can pull that real quick. Afterwards, she bare a daughter. All right. This is Genesis 34. Sons of Leah with 33. Bear with me just a moment. Let me see that. Hamor shot him with the edge of the sword. Yeah, Genesis 34. Well, the Hamite came and raped our sister because that's just, their regular, conversation. That's just how they get down. Now, of course, after centuries of being exposed to the Bible and the oppressor not wanting to just openly allow all of this child molestation and rape, you understand? But at this time, there was nobody had laws against doing such a thing except us. It wasn't Arabs' culture. Muhammad running through little boys and little girls. Still to this day, they got a shortage of women. They'll put little boys in a dress and have them dance around being as women with them Arab sheiks over there that everybody think is so nigh unto God and holy because they wear those long dresses and slam their head on the ground praying to the rock. You understand? But Commanding General Yohana has taught us better to not look at things for their face value and for their religious appearance, but to actually see what is going on. So you stay where you are. I'm going to read what happened, what Simeon and Levi did because of this heathen. So now we're in Genesis chapter 34 and verse 1. Now, and Dinah, or Diana in the Hebrew, the daughter of Leah, which she bare unto Jacob. Jacob had daughter as well. Went out to see the daughters of the land. This is a young sister. This is a sister. She want to look around and see where all the other girls are. Why? Because she's a girl. You understand? It doesn't specify her age, but she's a girl, and she wants to see where all the girls are. She got damn 12 brothers. She want to see where the little girls are. I don't want to, wrestle and, break stuff and throw spears and shoot arrows, whatever stuff little boys are doing. She want to go somewhere and find some girls she can hang out with. And that's what she did. You understand? And when Shechem, the son of Hamor, the Hivite, prince of the country, saw her, he took her and lay with her and defiled her. You understand? He just saw her. She was a beautiful woman. He liked her, and he just went and took her and he raped her, because that's just, he don't have no laws against it. Their culture doesn't have any laws against doing this. You understand? Verse 3, and his soul clave unto Dinah, the daughter of Jacob. He really started to love her after he done already took her and kidnapped her and raped her. Now he really realized, well, he really likes this woman or this sister. You understand? And he loved the damsel and spake kindly unto the damsel. And Shechem spake unto his father Hamor, saying, get me this damsel to wife. Get me this damsel to wife. I want to marry her. You understand? Because again, this is a heathen. And to them, sex is not marriage. Rape is not marriage either. You're supposed to die for that. You understand? But they are not married even by our laws. But unto him, even after he raped the sister, he now wants to do some sort of formal thing in order to go now and request to officially have her from the father. He talking nice to her afterwards and everything. And he tells his father, who was, an important man of the land. He's got power, he's got wealth. He is a prince of the land, so his father has some rank and authority over that land. Verse 5, and Jacob heard that he had defiled Dinah, his daughter. He heard about it. Now his sons were with his cattle in the fields, and Jacob held his peace until they would come. He didn't say nothing about it while they out in the field, you understand, because he knew that he had some sons that weren't going to sit around for a trial about, you understand, this cat raping their sister. He knew it, you understand. That's why he didn't say nothing to them while they were out in the field, because they probably would have left the cattle in the field and just rolled down there. You understand? And Hamor, the father of Shechem, went out unto Jacob to commune with him. This father of the heathen who had just raped our sister went out to go now and talk to the father. And the sons of Jacob came out of the field when they heard of it. They left the field immediately. And the men were grieved and they were very wroth. They didn't give a damn about this communication from this man and his family. They didn't care about none of that. Nobody give a damn about you trying to have some meeting now after your son had raped our sister. You understand? We had nothing you got to say. And they were grieved and were very angry because he had wrought folly in Israel in lying with Jacob's daughter, so that if you are not sure what happened, he raped his sister. He lied with her, he defiled her, and he did a foolish thing in Israel because some heathen not only had committed a rape against us, which is against our laws, and is certainly against our laws to allow another nation of people to do this to any of us, and for him now having sex with a daughter of Israel, you understand, which thing ought not be done. Verse 8, and Hamor communed with them, saying, the soul of my son Shechem longeth for your daughter. I pray you give him to wife, and make ye marriages with us, and give your daughters unto us, and take our daughters unto you, which the Lord gave us commandments never to do. And ye shall dwell with us, and the land shall be before you. Dwell and trade ye therein, and get you possessions therein. You come live amongst us, get rich, Get powerful. We'll mix. Y'all are mix, and y'all just come and join us. And Shechem said unto her father and unto her brethren. Now, this Shechem is the heathen that just finished defiling the sister. He talking to the father and to the brothers. Let me find grace in your eyes. And what ye shall say unto me, I will give. Tell me whatever you say, I'll give it to you. Let me find favor in your eyes. Don't be mad at me and look at me, like some violent bastard that just raped your daughter. Find favor with me. Let us trade. Let's have a family. This don't have to be bad. Just tell me whatever you want. I'll make sure you get it. You understand? Like, to show you the spirit of a heathen, which is why the Lord told us don't be with them. All right. Verse 13, and the sons of Jacob answered Shechem and Hamor his father deceitfully. They deceived him. Jacob means to yaquab or supplant or to run game on them. They deceitfully answered and said, because he have defiled their sister, because he had defiled Danah their sister. And they said unto him, we cannot do this thing, to give our sister to one that is uncircumcised, for that were a reproach unto us. It's like a disrespect unto us. It's something against us for you to be uncircumcised. Now, the circumcision is supposed to happen on the 8th day. Now, in captivity, you go to the hospital, you have a male son, the doctor cuts the foreskin of his penis off. That is a part of the covenant that the Most High gave to the children of Israel. That's our customs. That's not the custom of any other nations and people. That's Israelite custom. You understand? So that is supposed to be done with a male child. Because all males belong to the Most High. That's supposed to be done with the male child on the 8th day. Now you go to the hospital, they do the circumcision when the baby is born. You understand? If you want to. All right? But you're supposed to, because that's Israelite customs. Now, of course, if you try to do it later, if you don't do it when the child is born, and you try to do it later on once they're much older, then it's much more painful. You're bigger, you're older, a whole bunch of other things come into play. You risk infection, a whole bunch of other things, a bunch of medical issues that come later on down the line from not having it. This is why in the New Testament, one of the things that the Jews, that Peter, who were with the Jews, and Paul would always get into a contention about is these brothers that were not born in Jerusalem, but were born outside of Jerusalem, were not circumcised on the 8th day. If you were not circumcised on the 8th day, having the flesh cut off of your foreskin on the 8th day, then you could not be of the children of Israel. There's a bunch of rules and things that were very important that later on became a standard. All right, because this is our culture. Again, this doesn't have anything to do with religion. This is our family culture. You understand? All right, shalom, sis. All right, so now when it talks about this, but he's saying if it's a male, all right, so where was I at? They deal deceitfully with them. It's a reproach. We had Genesis 34 and 15. But in this will we consent unto you. We're going to allow you to join us. The marriage, everything is fine. They pretended like it was fine. If ye be as we be. That every male, that's how you know what it's talking about. Again, the male be circumcised. Talking about the foreskin that is on their rods or their penis. To be circumcised because this was Israelite culture. You understand? At the time, it was just our family. Hey, shalom, says most in Christ. But, and then he said in verse 16, then we will give our daughters unto you, and we will take your daughters unto us. We will dwell with you, and we will become one people. And we ended up trusting the Hamites in Africa doing the same thing. And later on, we ended up at the bottom of ships on a 6-month journey to plantations throughout the Caribbean and North, South, Central America. Like the Lord told us never to join another nation of people. This was after this heathen just saw our daughter who's looking for other girls to play with. He just saw her. He wanted her. He took her. He raped his sister. And now these brothers are going to trick those men into getting sore, getting these surgeries done, having the foreskin cut off of their rods, so that these are men These aren't babies at 8 days old. These are men. You understand? Full-grown men. They're going to have this surgery on their rods. So now they're going to be tired. They're going to be sore. They're going to be in recovery. You understand? And now in their weakened state, all right, let's see. We're going to see what happens. Now the heathen believes them. Verse 20. And Hamor and Shechem, his son, came unto the gate of their city, and they communed with the men of their city, saying, these men are peaceable with us. Therefore let them dwell in the land and trade therein, for the land, behold, it is large enough for them. Let us take their daughters to us for wives, and let us give them our daughters. Only herein will the men consent unto us, for to dwell with us, to be one people, if every man amongst us be circumcised as they are circumcised. And now this is what they really wanted. Mind you, the Lord is wiser than we are. In your mind, you might think it's just integration. Let the past be the past. We're going to come together. We're going to be one people. Everything's going to be good. You know, it might have started off a little rocky, but this just their custom. They just snatch up and rape women. They're not really bad people. You understand? He didn't mean no harm. He really liked her. You know, that's how they say they like you over there. They just snatch you up and rape you, and then later they go talk to your father, and you know, just let your dad and his sons know everything is cool. That's just how we say hi in the neighborhood. Damn all of that. You understand? And this is what they were really after. Our people don't realize that whether we have nothing, we have more than the other nations. Our culture, our rules, our laws, our sons, our daughters, our women, our wives, our children, our intelligence is more than what the other nations have. And they are always looking to exploit us because we don't realize how much of a juicy steak dinner we are to the other nations of people, because we don't have strong leaders to teach us to obey the Most High and to set boundaries so that this is as far as we can go culturally as a people. You understand? Which is what we're doing in the Isupk, because this is what the Lord requires. This was always what his commandments were. So now, in their mind, they're thinking they're about to come up. We're going to trade and swap and mix and match. Now, this is what the heathen are actually saying. Verse 23, shall not their cattle and their substance and every beast of theirs be ours? This is what they're really thinking. You understand? Because herding cattle is Israelite culture. Herding sheep is Israelite culture. Herding goats is Israelite culture. We making garment and leather and fringes and ironwork and technological advances of math and science and building these treasure cities all over the place. That's what we did in Egypt. We hadn't gone into Egypt yet, but we were still these same people. And we were way above the other nations of people just by the culture that the Most High had given to us to pass down through our forefathers. So now, and mind you again, the laws that the Most High told Moses to write down, we already had these customs amongst us. The Most High gave Adam the breath of life, which is the law, statutes, and commandments from the Garden of Eden. He passed it to his sons. One of the most important of his sons was Enoch. Enoch had a son named Noah, who was perfect in his generations. His sons he raised to survive through the flood that killed everybody on the planet. Once the flood waters receded in Genesis chapter 11, the earth got repopulated again with the offspring of his three sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. Once you get to the 11th chapter, you have the Tower of Babel. God separates everybody's language, gives everyone a separate culture, and then he separates all people across the planet so that they're no longer one people, one language, one culture, one heritage, and they're not speaking the only language that was on the planet originally, which is the Lashawan Kodash, which is the first language on the planet that the Most High gave to Adam, which is the language we teach every Friday in the Hebrew language classes in the Isupk. So now the earth starts over. He makes a lineage of special people coming from Abraham. Then from Abraham, he makes a covenant with him to pass down to Isaac, to Jacob, Now the earth is being repopulated again. And this is where we are from this one man and his sons before we become 12 tribes and it's millions of us, which is what happens to us while we're in Egypt. We already had blueprints on how to be great and strong. When we went into Egypt, we were known as the Hyksos, or the shepherd kings. For every shepherd is an abomination to the Egyptians. We had our own land, we herded sheep, we herded cattle. That brings a great amount of resources and stability to a nation. The biggest problem that most nations and people have is the ability to feed their people, the ability to clothe their people. If you know Hamites, Hamites don't wear a lot of clothes. Wearing clothes is not Hamite custom. You understand? That's not their culture. That's Israelite culture. What do you need to make clothes? Cattle, cowhide, cow skins, deer skins, sheep skins. The Hamites weren't known for breeding cattle. We were. That's why he's telling the other men in this land, if we marry with them, we'll get their cattle. Why? Because Africans always have trouble finding food. We'll get their sheep. We'll get their goats. We'll get seamstress. They know how to make clothes out of leather and the skin of their animals and ropes. They know how to build and do constructions. All the things we already knew how to do once we came to Egypt. You understand? We already had these skills. So now let's get some more. This is what they're really after. He's talking to the men there. He said, if we consent with them, we're going to get their cattle. We're going to get their sheep, their beasts. They can plow the fields. You understand? If you get an ox, one ox can plow acres and acres of fields. Then you can plant rows and rows of corn, rows and rows of fruits and vegetables, a vineyard. We were also expert farmers. We did all the work in agriculture in the field. Why do you think they came to Africa to get us? The agricultural work we were doing in Africa, we went and revolutionized Europe. They left Europe starving to death. They took us from our land where we were and put us in South Carolina and Virginia here, and we rose plantations for them. They tried to make it seem like we were a dumb and uneducated people, but we were people that fed their entire race, built homes for their entire race for hundreds of years, took care of them, nursed them, fed them, did everything for them for hundreds of years, and we weren't even allowed to read and get an education. How smart were we to do that? You know how difficult it is to work a field and be a gardener, to raise crops and have them not die, to know what to plant where, when to harvest, how to cut down and trim the weeds, and make sure that you're getting fruit versus flowers, and till the soil and work the land. That's what's in the actual commandments of the Bible. How to work the land, how to rotate the crops, when to let the land rest, what to put where. All of those things are contained in the law. Because again, this is not about religion. This is our culture that is now being written down. Because before that, how would you learn? This father would sit around and tell all of his sons. Nobody else knows. I only told my 12 sons. How the hell did you know? The Lord told Moses to write it down because your 12 sons are now several million people. You understand? We became a nation once we left Egypt. So now, understanding this, what's going on, this is their culture. Now they're going to talk about all the wealth that we have. We didn't realize what wealth we had because it was just us. So now we're going to read some more. It says here in verse 24, and unto Hamor and unto Shechem his sons hearken, all that went out of the gate of the city, every male was circumcised, all that went out of the gate of his city. And it came to pass on the third day when they were sore, rods hurt, they getting circumcision as grown men, that two of the sons of Jacob, Simeon and Levi, Dinah's brethren, took each man his sword and came upon the city boldly and slew all the males. And they slew Hamor and Shechem his son with the edge of the sword, and took Dinah out of Shechem's house and went out. And the sons of Jacob came upon the slain, meaning the rest of the brothers. These are just two brothers, Simeon and Levi. He's just two brothers. When the rest of the brothers seen all the dead men that they had just killed, you understand, and spoiled the city because they had defiled their sister, they took their sheep and their oxen and their asses, which is a donkey, and that which was in the city and that which was in the field. They ran them, they got them for everything. And all their wealth, all their little ones, their children, all their wives, they took captive and spoiled even all that was in their house. They ran in there and took everything from an entire city. These two brothers killed dozens of people. You understand? They caught mad bodies, crazy bodies. And they went and got their sister and took everything. And Jacob said to Simeon and Levi, ye have troubled me to make me to stink among the inhabitants of the land. You making me look bad amongst the Canaanites, the Perizzites, and I being few in number, it's just a few of us. You made me look bad. They shall gather themselves together against me and slay me. They're going to kill me now, and I shall be destroyed, I and my house. All of my family is going to be destroyed. And they said, should he deal with our sister as with an harlot? Like he going to deal with our sister like she's a whore? Like he just supposed to just snatch her up and have sex with her and throw some money and at the pimp and just, we that's good. We even. Good business. They was like, nah, man, damn all of that. So now, having understood what it's talking about, let's go back to Genesis, the 49th chapter, to pick up what the story was referencing. Now that Jacob is about to die, he's given instructions and prophecies to his sons before he passes on. So now, let's go back to Genesis, the 49th chapter, and start at verse 6 again.
Come on, sir. Genesis 49, verse 6. Oh, my soul.
My soul. He's saying my soul. My mind, my spirit. You understand? Everybody make sure y'all like, share, subscribe, hit the thumbs up button. It greatly helps the channel, all right? So keep going.
Come not thou into their secret until
read it all the way through.
Until their assembly. My honor be not thou unite, for in their anger they slew a man, and in their self-will they dig down a wall.
They tore down a wall that was going to be built. This wall between their people and our people and their wealth, access to their land and their resources so we could dwell safely. Remember, Jacob is thinking about the future generations of his people. Now, if he know he getting good with them, in his mind you, this is not magic. It's not magic. We in a different land. This is not our land. You got this family, you got these sons, you got this cattle. They're going to need food and grass and resources and all kind of things that's going on. He's thinking about the future generations of his people. The brothers was thinking in their anger about getting with this sister, about getting their sister back. You understand? Not saying what the brothers did was wrong, but Jacob probably had some plan to deal with this down the line. And these brothers was like, damn that. This is going to get dealt with now. All of the brothers were in on it, that they were going to run game on them. You understand? But these brothers did not wait for whatever plan or anything they had set up. Their plan was to go and kill them. And that's what they did. The whole city. And they got them for everything. They taken prisoners, captives, everything. All right? They didn't change the whole dynamic. So whatever good relationship and status to live in the land that they were going to have before, all of that, they done blew that. Simeon and Levi done went through there and shot up the whole neighborhood. You understand? They done killed everybody. They done spun through there. Everybody's dead. Bodies everywhere. Houses all shot up. Stuff is on fire. And they done took prisoners. You can't be friends with these people now. They have to respond. It's too late now. You can't not make this a war. I mean, look what your sons did. How is this not a war now? You understand? So that's what he's saying, and this is what he's referencing. So keep going.
Verse 7, cursed be their anger.
The Lord, he said, cursed be your anger. That damn anger is something terrible on these two tribes that he's talking about. Keep going.
For it was fierce
It was fierce. That was a very fierce thing that they did. One man had done this to their sister. They killed everybody and took their wives and their children and everything they had. Keep going.
And their wrath,
Right?
for it was cruel.
He's saying what you did was very cruel. It was extremely cruel what you did. You killed all of those people. Keep going.
I will divide them in Jacob.
He said, I'm going to divide them. The Levites would now be divided. They're not going to live with Simeon. They can't be together. But in the latter days, they will be together again on an island together. And that cruelty that they showed to this heathen for what he did to their sister, that cruelty they're now going to show to each other, which is exactly what's happening with the tribe of Simeon and the tribe of Levi on the island of Haiti and Dominican Republic. So keep going.
And scattered them in Israel.
And they're going to be scattered amongst the land of Israel because the Levites will live everywhere. The entire tribe of Levi and Simeon will not live together. The tribe of Levi is going to be divided to live amongst all the 12 tribes because they'll be working in the temple, taking the sacrifices and the offerings and doing the duties of the priests for that tribe, wherever they live. All right. So, Officer Yagadar, pick up from verse 8. This is 49 and 8.
Genesis 49, Genesis chapter 49, verse 8. Judah, thou art he.
The tribe of Judah. See that comma? Break that down. You get used to seeing commas, exclamation points, parentheses, colons, if, ands, or buts, lines. Those things need to be broken down before you go forward. Because if you read this out on the street, you're going to need to explain to them who this is talking about. That's why the Lord had them put a comma there. Judah. Who is Judah? Judah is the tribe of Judah's so-called Afro-Americans, so-called African-Americans. This is the tribe of Judah that is talking about now. All right, so keep going.
Thou art he whom thy brethren shall praise.
You are whom your brethren shall praise. The head tribe or the head son was supposed to be Rehoboam, but he cursed Rehoboam for having sex with one of his wives. And he said, you will be unstable as water, you shall not prosper. So now, Judah, you are who your brethren shall praise. That's why if the tribe of Judah wears their pants hanging down below their behind, all the 12 tribes are going to wear it. If Judah puts their hat backwards, all the tribes are wearing backwards hats. If Judah starts to rap, every tribe is rapping. Judah's getting gold teeth and gold chains, every tribe is getting gold teeth and gold chains. If Judah puts on skinny jeans, all the tribes is putting on skinny jeans. If Judah going to be blackout drunk, falling out on the street, drinking too much, getting in drunk fights, all the tribes are going to do it. If Judah takes whatever Judah does, all the tribes are going to do because the Lord made Judah to be the head tribe in the nation. If Judah puts on red and blue and starts fighting each other, they're going to put on red and blue amongst Isupk. They're going to put on red and blue amongst Zebulon. They're going to be north versus south, east versus west. All the tribes is going to do it. In Brazil and Peru, amongst Asher, down in Zebulon in Central America, every tribe is going to do it. The red sticks versus the white sticks. The tribes of Gad fighting and killing each other. Every tribe is going to do the example that Judah sets. That's why if Judah turns back and serves the Most High and stops getting high and stops being a Christian and stops being a Muslim and stops getting dreadlocks and stops smoking weed and stop having sex with whores, then all of the tribes will stop as well. Because Judah, thou art who thy brethren shall praise. Judah means Yahweh or the Most High be praised. That is what Judah means in the Hebrew. That is the head tribe of the nation of Israel. Keep going.
Thy hand shall be in the neck of thine enemies.
The hand of Judah shall be in the neck of thy enemies. Amongst all the 12 tribes, the tribe that is the closest to our chief oppressor is the tribe of Judah, because our chief oppressor's power and rulership comes from America, comes from the United States, and the tribe of Judah has built up. All the tribes have built up, but the tribe of Judah, unlike Gad, unlike Issachar, unlike Zebulon, unlike Reuben, unlike all of the other tribes, the tribe of Judah has been the closest to our oppressor for the longest. You understand? All right.
Okay.
Has been the one fighting and directly oppressed the most, fighting under our oppressor, fighting him, whether it's the Black Panthers, whether it's the slave rebellions and Nat Turner. There were slave rebellions all throughout. For those of you that don't know, so-called Latino Hispanic brothers and sisters, they had tons of slave revolts, all in Central America, all in South America, all in Mexico. They forced them to end slavery in Mexico. They said they weren't going to have any slavery. And if slaves escaped and made it to Mexico, which at a significant period of time included Texas, they would not give back any slaves. They were free once they made it to Mexico, which is why the colonists or the settlers that moved to Texas declared war on Mexico. That's what that Battle of the Alamo was about, because the Mexicans, the tribe of Isupk, refused to return any runaway slaves, and they refused to allow the white former slave owners to reestablish a slave colony in Texas. Of course, they fought them. They killed off the oppressor. Then every white man from all across America came to battle and slaughter the Mexicans, and they took Texas and they drew new lines across the border, and they stole California gradually and Texas as well. And now Mexico is that line that you see now that outlines Texas and Arizona and parts of California. You understand?
Okay.
So just to give you some history on that. But this is what happened when we at 38. All right. So keep going.
Kanawakan. Thy father's children shall bow down before thee.
Your father's children. He is the father, who is Israel, who is Jacob, talking to him. He's saying, Judah, your father's children shall bow down before thee, because you are going to be the head tribe. You're going to be in charge. Keep going.
Verse 9. Judah is a lion's whelp.
Judah is a lion's whelp. Let's get the definition of the word whelp. What is a whelp? You understand? I'm going to have to give it to you for time's sakes. A whelp is any of the young of various carnivorous animals, especially of the dog, a lion. The symbol for the tribe of Judah is a lion. You understand? Every tribe has a symbol. The symbol for the tribe of Reuben or Rehoboam is a horse or a stallion, very, very strong and powerful. That's the symbol for the tribe of Zebulun. Salakia, the tribe of Reuben. The tribe of Levi is the symbol is a pair of dice, or the Urim and the Thummim, which is what dice are, casting lots or shooting dice. That is Israelite culture. You understand? That's the symbol. The symbol for the tribe of Simeon or Shemawan, the so-called Dominicans, is a battle axe. There's an axe, A-X-E. You understand? If you don't remember, you haven't seen an axe in a long time, you can look it up. You can find pictures of a so-called tomahawk or a hatchet, which are smaller axes, different versions, but a battle axe is the symbol for the tribe of Simeon. All right. So Judah is a lion's whelp. A young lion, strong, is not as strong as an old lion. It doesn't have the wisdom of an older lion. That's why it says Judah is a lion's whelp. Very important to understand. That's why it's important to break down the definitions of the words that are being used in the scripture. Judah is a lion's whelp. It's a young lion. Keep going.
Kanawakan. From the prey, my son, thou art gone up.
He says, from the prey, my son, thou art gone up. From the prey. From the prey. That's what he's saying. All right. Most sign cry. I can't see whoever sent the message. I can't see it. I'm not gonna be able to see it while I'm in here because I'm broadcasting from other phone. So from the lions, come.
So like it was me. I was just letting you know. I was just letting you know I got to leave to get ready to trust and go to work.
We got to head to the slave.
So, yes, sir. Come.
All right, Khan. No sweat. No sweat. The water. Where you? All right. Shalom, Hebrew. Y'all should break it down.
Shalom. Yeah, about
all right. Most sign Christ. All right. No sweat. The water. Wild word. All right. From the lion's whelp, thou art gone up. From the prey. At one point in time, Judah was with the prey. Judah was fighting the prey in the 60s, all active with the Black Panthers, with the Afro and the berets up to the side, was with the Nation of Islam, marching with Malcolm X, doing the steps, everything. Blackity black, Marcus Garvey, back to Africa movement. We not Americans. We Negroes, we colored folks. We down with the red man. We down with the brown man. We all brothers. You were gone away from the prey. Because all of that, you wasted your energy joining things that the Lord was not with. Now you got rid of that. You cut that afro off. Al Sharpton done permed his afro out. You done got rid of that beard, all that masculinity, get that away. You done stop talking this blackity black stuff. Now we the Rainbow Coalition. We all coming together. It ain't about color no more. It's not about black no more. It's about America. We all together now. You've gone away from the prey. You're not trying to fix the community. You're trying to sell the community. You're trying to integrate. No more Negro, black. Let's stop talking about race. Let's just all be to America. We're better together. We Rainbow Coalition. You understand? God forgive the slave and the slave master. We all do wrong. All lives matter. You've gone away from the battle, away from the prey, away from what you're supposed to be tackling to deal with. You done gone away from that now. That whole spirit changed once the 60s. All of that energy everybody had, and later devolved into West versus East, North versus South, red versus blue, Democrats and Republicans. You joined the police force. You gave up all that blackity black ethnic stuff. Now your kids don't even know anything about being black. They don't know black history, black music, black inventors. All they learn about is Martin Luther King. That's it. Martin Luther King. Now Barack Obama, who is not black. Kamala Harris, who's a white woman. You understand? That's all you learn about now. That's it. As a matter of fact, Black History Month, and you don't learn about slavery anymore. That's gone. It's not in the textbooks. They got transgenders teaching you kids. I mean, it's over. It's over. Your sons is painting their goddamn fingernails. You understand? It's over. You've gone away from the prey. You ain't fighting. Jim Brown ain't fighting no more. All that blackity black, red, blue, and green, wearing the beret, all of that came to nothing. The Lord said, if it be of God, it shall succeed. But if it be of man, it shall come to naught. And it all came to nothing. Farrakhan don't even believe in that damn Quran no more. He done went to Dianetics. Now he on Scientology. Now he says he's a Muslim Hebrew. He's an Israelite. You understand? He's all over the damn place. All of your years, you've given your strength and your power to every movement, everyone's belief system, political parties. You're trying to be the damn mayor now. Nobody even takes you seriously anymore. The whole country, the planet was scared of the black man back in the day. Nobody takes you seriously. Your son is in a dress. Your dad is co-signing your son being in a dress. Your woman runs the house. Your kids don't respect you. You're on child support. They even threw you out the neighborhood. Everything that there is to fight about, Judah has gone away from that prey. The strength has been taken out of it, whether heroin or cocaine or weed or pills or jobs or everything, oppression, all the strength is gone. You ain't fighting no more. That's why when you come into the UPK, you got to get the spirit of the Lord put on you to even want to fight against the evil that everybody knows is happening, but you know how it is. You know, that's what the scriptures is talking about. All right. So keep going.
He stooped down.
He stooped down like a lion. You see a lion that's about to attack, the lion get real low because he gonna push off that ground and then pounce on you, sink them claws into you, about 500-600 pounds of cat. He gonna jump on you, break something, tear something, rip something, kill something. But he crouching down like he ready to strike. You see him in the videos. You missed this, that. And I'm bad in this month, and you in this. I'm gonna do this. You understand? Keep going.
He crouched as a lion.
He get down like a lion supposed to. He looks strong. Is looking tough. Is looking powerful. Keep going.
And as an old lion.
As a what?
As an old lion.
Man, I ain't even trying to deal with this. As a what?
As an old lion.
You know what? If I was younger, I'd do this and this and that. As what?
As an old lion.
Back in my day, we used to get all the buffalo, all the gazelles, all the zebra. You understand? Back in my day, as a what?
That's an old lion.
Man, I ain't got time to be bothered with this, all this blackety black stuff. I gotta go to work. I gotta do this. I ain't got time to be fighting and stuff. I got my own problems. I got my own life. I got my own this, my own that. And that is why those problems get bigger and bigger and bigger every generation. Because as an old lion, all your fight is gone. You wasted it. You wasted it on Islam, or being a Black Panther, on the conscious community, on Kemet, on RGB and the LGBT. You wasted it on church. You wasted it in the Army and the Marines and the Navy and the NFL and the NBA. You've given all your strength away to America, to your lust, to your drug dealing, to your gang banging, to you fighting, to you being in the Marine Corps, to helping push democracy, to your right to vote, to being a good patriotic American citizen. You've given away all of the strength that the Lord gave you to fight, to devour the prey that is important to be devoured. All that strength is gone. You gave it somewhere else. And now, as an old lion, keep going.
Who shall rouse him up?
Who's actually going to get him to do anything? Everybody see what the problem is. Everybody like the idea of the truth. Everybody like the videos. They like pieces of it, but who's going to actually rouse him up to provoke him to actually do something about it in the right, in the proper way, and in order? You'll get together to do the Million Man March and accomplish nothing. You get together to wear your purple dress and marched on the building with Kyrie Irving and accomplish nothing. You'll get together to go in the police academy, to go to the Army, to go to the Marines, to join the Navy. You'll get together for that. The Gay Rights Day, Black Lives Matter you'll get together for all of that. Who's going to actually get you together to deal with the prey? To deal with getting rid of Christianity, to deal with getting rid of Islam and child molestation and murder and drug addiction and self-appointed niggas who think that they all should be in charge. You understand? That thinks that everybody should have an equal voice. Everybody should get their shot. Everyone's entitled to live life their own personal way. Who's going to actually devour those things that the Lord wants to be fought against? Who's going to rouse him up? He's an old lion. He's no threat to nobody no more. Keep going.
Come. Genesis chapter 49, verse 10. The scepter shall not depart from Judah.
The scepter is the crown. That's the ruling power and authority, is never going to depart from Judah. King David is a Judite. The throne is held by the tribe of Judah. Christ sits on the throne of King David. Christ is a Judite. King David is a Judite. You understand? That is how the power and the authority in the nation will never depart from Judah. You understand? Keep going.
Nor a lawgiver from between his feet.
A lawgiver, a ruler, a king is not going to depart from between the feet of Judah. Between the feet of Judah is talking about his rod, his testicles, which is what we started talking about in the beginning of the breakdown, because the testicles carry sperm. You understand? And that sperm reproduces, that specific seed gets reproduced on the earth through the seed. And that reproduces more lawgivers, because more Judites are going to come from between his feet. Keep going.
Until Shiloh comes.
Until Shiloh come. You understand? Until Shiloh come. All right. I'm getting too old for this, just like Murtaugh. You understand? Until Shiloh comes. Shiloh talking about Shalom. That's talking about until peace come. That's talking about Christ. When Christ comes, then everything is going to get put in power, because crowns will be placed on all of the 12 tribes. 12,000 of each tribe shall be the ruling government in the kingdom of heaven when Christ rules the earth. 12,000 of each tribe shall be in charge. You understand? Of every continent. All the resources, wealth, every people will be under the authority of a Black, Hispanic, Native American, or a so-called Latino brother when Christ returns. That's what we building in the UPK. You understand? Keep going.
And until him shall the gathering of the people be.
And unto him, that man, shall the gathering of all people be. We are only here gathered together for Christ. You understand? That's why we gather together. Brothers from rival gangs, brothers from different branches of the military, different religious beliefs, brothers and sisters. That's the only reason that Native Americans and blacks and Latinos are gathered together. That's the reason that Mexicans and Puerto Ricans and Dominicans and Afro-Americans and Seminoles and Cree and Apache and Comanche and Cherokee and Chickasaw, that's the only reason we're together. The only reason that Haitians and Dominicans are together is because we are gathering unto Christ here in the Isupk. We're gathering unto Christ. That's why. This is because of our King, because he sacrificed his life and died so that we can live new lives and come back together and be a people again before our power. All right, so keep going.
Verse 11. Binding his foal unto the vine.
Binding his foal. His foal is talking about his horse. When you ride a horse, you get off your horse, you have to tie that horse up so it doesn't just wander off somewhere or get spooked and run away. He binds or ties his horse unto the vine. What grows on a vine? It's getting ready to tell you. Keep going.
And his ass's coat unto the choice vine.
His ass's colt. A colt is a young horse or horse-like creature. Your ass is your donkey to the choice vine. That vine is talking about the grapes. You understand? Because the tribe of Judah has always been synonymous with grapes. Yes, it's racist. Yes, it's a stereotype. And yes, it is biblical. From grapes, from wine, Cavassier, Hennessy, all of those things that come from grapes and the grape drink, the grape juice. You understand? That's the vine that the Bible is talking about. Yes, grapes are in the Bible, and the tribe of Judah is prophesied to be always close to the grapes. That's biblical. You understand? It's stereotypical and it's biblical. All right. So keep going.
He washed his garments in wine.
He washes his garments in wine. Everything. Blame it on the goose, got me feeling loose. Blame it on the alcohol. Turn up, turn up, turn up, turn up, turn up. Turn down for what? Hennessy, Cavassier, used to be Cristal, Boone's Farm, every damn thing. Schlitz, malt liquor, everything, everything. Drink, 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 drink. It's a characteristic of the tribe of Judah. Many cases too goddamn much drinking. But this is a characteristic of the tribe of Judah. In addition to everything else, this also, too much. You understand? Christ's first miracle was turning water into wine. Every time they saw Christ, they called him a wine bibber, which means a drunkard. Every time they called him, he, of course, was not a drunkard. But when they saw him, he was drinking. The Son of Man come drinking. He drinking. He always drinking. You understand? The Christian church has taught our people that it is wrong to drink alcohol, that it is a sin, it's ungodly, and that is a lie. It is not a sin to drink wine. It's not a sin to drink beer. It's not a sin to drink liquor. It's not a sin to drink tequila. It's not a sin to drink Casamigos or Jose Cuervo or 1492 or Remy or VSOP or XO. It is not a sin. It's not a sin for anyone to drink. That is religion and Christianity that taught you a bunch of things. What they didn't teach was how not to molest children. They don't ever have a class on that. That never comes up. But drinking, you can't do that. Having more than one woman, you can't do that. Sneaking little boys around the back for the altar call, you know, who am I to judge? That's what they say. You understand? But keep going.
And his clothes in the blood of grapes.
And his clothes in the blood of grapes. He's talking again. It's very illustrated, talking about drinking. Talking about the tribe of Judah, talking about drinking. Keep going.
Verse 12. His eyes shall be red with wine.
His eyes shall be red with wine. Eyes turning red. Again, this is about 4 or 5 lines talking about drinking. So you get it very clear. Hence, Jack Daniels comes from a slave named Nearest Green. You understand? It don't come from the white man on the bottle. It comes from a slave. You understand? Keep going.
And his teeth white with milk.
And his teeth white with milk. You understand? I don't drink no milk. but we raised cattle and we raised goats. You understand? We ate cheese, we ate wine, we drank wine, we ate cheese, we ate corn, we ate milk. All of this idea that you're supposed to be some vegan, that you can't. Now, the quality of the meat may vary depending on how much you buy it and who you get it from. You understand? Just like the quality of your vegetables and everything else. But it was never you eating meat was against God. That was never the case. The Bible gave us laws on what meat we could and could not eat, but God never said that you could not eat meat like a cow or a lamb or a goat or a turtle dove or quail. Those things we could always eat. It was always a part of our culture. That is not something that we learned in slavery. We always ate these things, even in our homeland, even when we were free. God himself fed us quail, which is a bird. It's like a Cornish hen, and bread out of the sky for 40 years when we lived in the wilderness. We ate nothing but bread and chicken. That's what we ate for 40 years. We didn't have high blood pressure, high cholesterol, fibroids, thyroids. We didn't have none of those problems. These bodies we have now are a consequence of curses that God put on us for disobeying him, that he told us in Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter, he would put these curses on us if we disobeyed him. And we agreed to it. And here we are. So keep going.
Kana Wakan. Verse 13. Zebulun shall dwell at the haven of the sea.
Zebulun. Zebulun, is there a comma after Zebulun? Or just read? Okay, Zebulun. Zebulun is the brothers and sisters from Central America. Wonderful tribe. Zebulun, El Salvador, Nicaragua, Honduras, Guatemala, Costa Rica, all the way down to Panama. You understand? You understand? Zebulun. Talking about those tribes down there. Zebulun is called the haven of ships. Why is it talking about the haven of ships? It's because Zebulun was on a port city. It was a port city, and today the brothers in Central America, the so-called tribe, the tribe of Zebulun, they have something called the Panama Canal, where haven of ships come to port and to dock, all from around the world. You understand? The Panama Canal, that is where the tribe of Zebulun is. They were a haven of ships in our land in the Middle East before they left the Middle East during the Assyrian captivity and came over this side of the world in what is known as Arsareth in the Apocrypha. You understand? That is talking about the tribe of Zebulun, brothers in Central America. All right? So for those countries that I mentioned, if your father is one of those, the symbol for the tribe of Zebulun is a ship. It's a sailboat, a ship. That's the symbol for the tribe of Zebulun. It's a haven of ships for that reason I just mentioned. Keep going.
And he shall be for an haven of ships.
Right, a haven of ships, major ports, a haven of ships. Keep going.
And his border shall be unto Zidon.
His border shall be unto Zidon. Zidon was a major trading port. You understand? Most High in Christ was a major trading port in the Middle East. All right. Now they have a place called Coast of Riches, or Costa Rica, which is what Costa Rica means. Coast of Riches. That is also tribe of Zebulun down there in Costa Rica. That whole Central American area, you understand? So keep going.
Kanawakan, verse 14. Issachar is a strong ass couching down between two burdens.
Isupk is a crouching ass, which is a donkey. A donkey is a small animal. In many cases, it's a small animal that is very, very strong. Issacharite brothers, not all of them, but many of the tribe of Issachar are known for being very small and very strong brothers. They're always everywhere, working everywhere, building every goddamn thing, working, doing burden after burden, job after job, just like a donkey. A donkey is a very strong animal that is also characteristic of Mexico. That is the symbol for the tribe of Issachar is the burro, or the donkey, or as the Bible calls it, an ass. That's what an ass is. It's a donkey. So that's the symbol for the tribe of Issachar. It is a crouching donkey between two burdens. He's got work on both sides of him. He's always working. You understand? He's in the field working. He's doing construction. He's planting trees, working. He's mopping. He's sweeping. He's doing every damn thing. You understand? Most of the food in the grocery store, hey, shalom, brother, most of the food in the grocery store was either picked or got there because of Issachar or Zebulun, working in the fields, all in America, all in Mississippi, all in the big fields down in Florida, which that idiot DeSantis passed that racist bill, and now they got rows and hundreds of acres of crops that are rotting away because of the evil that he thought to do against the tribe of Issachar and Zebulun and our brothers, along with this evil white supremacist culture trashing the tribe of Zebulun and Issachar and our tribes. Like, the reason America functions is not because of our tribes. Well, you understand? Florida is going through it for that evil that they did. You understand? So this is talking about Issachar. Keep going.
Verse 15. And he saw the rest was good.
He saw that rest was good. This is talking about a siesta, post-nap, post-lunch nap. The entire the country of Mexico, which is where the tribe of Issachar is primarily, is known for a siesta. It's known that after about lunchtime, most things shut down and everybody goes to take a nap. This is stereotypical and it is biblical. It is a Bible prophecy to identify these tribes. You understand? If you look up siesta, you'll see a picture of the tribe of Issachar. You understand? Like, this is biblical. It is identifying thousands and thousands of years who and what these 12 tribes would become. This is a prophecy that this father is telling to his sons because God told him to say it. And God is telling Moses what he told his sons so that Moses can write it down so that his sons, sons, and daughters will learn future generations later about our heritage, which is what we're doing right now. So keep going.
Kanawakan. And the land that it was pleasant.
And the land that it was pleasant. Why is it talking about the land? Because Issachar is known for farming, known for working in the agricultural field, known for growing tomatoes and crops and trees and agriculture. Orale, damn right. Issachar is known for planting the trees, all the flowers out in front of your buildings and your offices. He'll take your flat, dry, arid, desolate, ugly land and make it look like a paradise. He'll take a pair of shears and make a damn penguin out of your bushes. Make an outfit out of your damn bushes and turn it into whatever the hell he wants, because Issachar knows about that land. You understand? Make your crops grow in the field. They tried to get white farmers to replace the work that Issachar is doing in the fields. And the white people, they said that the white people are much slower. They can't do as much work. They need twice as much time. They need twice as many breaks. They're full of complaints. They want this and that after lunch. They won't come back. They're exhausted. They work too slow. They're bigger. They're slower. They're lazier. They're getting hurt. Like, they not equipped for work like Issachar is equipped for work. This is a prophecy concerning and identifying who the tribe of Issachar is in the Bible. You understand? So keep going.
Kanawakan. And bowed his shoulder to bear.
And bow his shoulders. He get down. He ready to work. You understand? Keep going.
Kanawakan. And became a servant unto tribute.
And what?
And became a servant unto tribute.
And this is also a very big problem that Issachar has. He became a servant to tribute. He became a servant to work. George Lopez says, we'll do it for half. We'll do it for half. I can do it and pay all of this money and get somebody to do it, or I can find Issachar to do it, and Issachar will do it better in a shorter period of time and for less money. And if there's money available, Issachar is for hire. That's what Issachar means. He is my hire, or he is hired. That's what Issachar means. You understand? And that is something about the tribe of Issachar, is that they will work themselves to death. They'll take jobs that are not adequately paying properly. That he became a servant to tribute, a servant to working, to working too damn much. And that is a stereotype and a prophecy about the tribe of Issachar, in addition to everything else that we've already went over. So keep going.
Verse 16. Dan shall judge his people.
Dan shall judge his people. You understand? Dan is going to judge. The word Dan means judge. That's what Dan Ya'ala or Dan Ya'ala, it means the Lord's judge. You understand? Dan is a judge. Shapat also means judge as well, but Dan is judge. That's what it means. He shall judge his people. Keep going.
As one of the tribes of Israel.
As one of the tribes. Dan does not have their own tribe anymore because Dan was a tribe that did not have enough sons to continue. Again, the Bible is not magic. If you don't have any sons, you cannot continue your land, your heritage. That's why at the beginning he said, Rawbon, you are my strength. You are my firstborn, the beginning of my strength. Because I have a son, my son can make more sons. If I had all daughters, this is the end of my line. I now have to become a part of somebody else's line because I can't continue my line because these daughters that I have, they will take seed of other men and reproduce their lineage. You understand? And that's what happened to the tribe of Dan. They didn't have enough sons, so they just ended up getting rolled over into being a part of other tribes. They no longer have their tribes after captivity and slavery once we get to Revelation, because the priesthood is no longer only to Levi, because that Levitical priesthood was ended by Christ. No longer shall the blood of bulls and goats be our sacrifice. The priesthood of Melchizedek, which is forever, is based on Christ. Now, any of the 12 tribes can become a priest, how the Lord wanted it to be from the very beginning. That's why now you don't have to only be a Levite to be a priest. Any of the 12 tribes that comes in here and gets proven under commanding General Yohana and the men that he raised up to try and prove men to see who shall be fitting to be a priest, any tribe can be a priest. As long as you are one of the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel, that's what you need to start. All right. So keep going.
Verse 17. Dan shall be a serpent by the way.
Dan shall be a serpent by the way, meaning you won't see Dan. A serpent by the way is a snake you don't see. You're not going to see him because he's under a rock. He hidden somewhere. He around the corner somewhere. You don't see him. He blended in. He looked like a rock. He looked like a twig. He looked like a leaf. And before you know it, he done bit your damn ankle. Keep going.
An adder in the path.
An adder is a type of snake. It's a very poisonous snake. It's a desert snake. You can look up an adder with an ADDER, which it is. It's a small poisonous snake. Keep going.
That biteth the horse heels.
He bites the horse's heels. Why? The horse is up here 6, 7 feet in the air. The snake is down there. He's going to bite the horse's heels because the horse don't see him. The horse accidentally step on him. The snake going to bite the hell out the horse. You understand? If I'm not mistaken, I believe they started to make snake venom treatments from horses, antibodies. You understand? You can look that up. Don't quote me on that for sure, but I do believe that I saw that somewhere as well. But that's what this is talking about. Snake biting a horse. Horse doesn't see him. You won't see the tribe of Dan and recognize, oh, that's a Danite. You won't be able to do that because that tribe is so small because of so few sons. Keep going.
So that his rider shall fall backward.
So his rider will fall back because that snake's going to bite the horse. The horse is going to squeal and neigh, throw the rider off. The horse going to kick off and start running. Somebody bit the hell out the horse. You're going to land on your back. That's what's going to happen. So keep going.
I have waited for thy salvation.
He's waiting for salvation for Dan, waiting for Dan. All right. So keep going.
O Yahweh.
O Most High. Keep going. We got a couple more. Let's get through these.
Gad.
Gad. The tribe of Gad is the so-called North American Indian. The North American Indian that are not Seminoles. The tribe of Gad. You understand? The symbol for the tribe of Gad is, of course, the TP. That's the symbol for the tribe of Gad. The Plains Indians, known for the TPs worldwide. That is Israelite customs. Living in tents. The military shows up to some other country. They set up military bases and fortifications with big tents everywhere. When we traveled before we got into our land, we traveled and set up tents. We lived in what the Bible called sakawath, or booths. Those booths referring to tents. That's where the Plains Indians live. All Gadites did not live in tents and teepees. The Gadites on the East Coast did not live in tents. You're not living in no tent in New York. You understand? In New Jersey and Virginia. They lived in what's known as long houses and log cabins. That's Israelite custom. Those cabins, white men go out in the woods and go into a cabin retreat up in the mountains. That is not their culture. That is Gadite culture. That long house, those log cabins, that's Gadite culture. That's not Esau's culture. You understand? So Gad, the tribe of Gad, keep going.
A troop shall overcome him.
A troop is a military unit or regiment. The tribe of Gad was overcome by the F troop. You understand? The military troop, that's the Trail of Tears. The United States Army, a troop, overcame the tribe of Gad. They killed them, they murdered them, they slaughtered the buffalo, they took their land. That is how the tribe of Gad was overcome, by a military force. And they had hell fighting that tribe of Gad. From the Comanche, the Apache, the Shoshone, the Cheyenne, the Lakota, the Sioux, the Arapaho, they got into it with that tribe of Gad. Gad did not go down easy. Even after poisoning the tribe of Gad with blankets of smallpox, murdering 77 million of them, they still had a serious fight with the tribe of Gad. The oppressor who conquered Mexico and tried to push in Catholicism had a hell of a time fighting the Apache and the Comanche. And if not for brothers fighting against each other, they would have not been able to conquer the Apache or the Comanche. You understand? Like our oppressor uses and exploits a beef between two brothers so that they can come out on top. And that is exactly what they did, which is why it is so important that if you have an issue with your brother, that you and your brother be able to work it out before a heathen can exploit you both, which is what usually happens with us. Same thing happens with the red sticks and the white sticks, the Gadites who preferred traditional Gadite way of living out in the plains and in the wild, living off the land, versus the white man's way of living for the white sticks, being a Christian, cutting that hair, taking on Christian values, taking Christian names, not speaking native languages, fighting for democracy, and helping them establish America by killing off other Gadites. That you can look up the war between the red sticks and the white sticks. That's where you get that tomahawk from. That tomahawk is not Gadite culture. That was like a racial gift that they gave to the Gadites. It was a disrespectful thing that the Gadites did not like giving a black man watermelon. You understand? It was something meant to be disrespectful to the Gadites. You understand? So keep going.
But he shall overcome at the last.
He's going to overcome at the last. You understand? The tribe of Gad will overcome at the last. At the end, the tribe of Gad is going to overcome that military cavalry, because they're going to come in the UPK and help build up the Lord's kingdom. And instead of fighting with the power of the great sky spirits and the totem pole and the wind, they're going to get power from the Most High by serving the Lord in the Isupk, so that now their oppressors cannot crush them like they did before. All right, keep going. We got a couple more we're going to get through, so keep going.
Come on. Verse 20. Out of Asher, his bread shall be fat.
Asher, his bread. Asher, the tribe of Asher, the symbol for the tribe of Asher is the grape. The tribe of Asher are the brothers in South America, which is everything, all of the natives down from South America that is not Argentina and Chile, the easiest way to say it. Ecuador, Peru, Bolivia, Uruguay, Paraguay, Brazil, tribe of Asher, huge expansive land, all the way down with those Andes mountains, all the way down into the Amazon. The tribe of Asher is huge down there, all of that land there. His bread shall be fat. There's lots of wealth and resources that are in that land of the tribe of Asher. Keep going.
And he shall yield royal dainties.
He shall yield royal dainties. Lots of royal things come out of that Central America, that South America. Lots of silver mines, lots of gold mines, silver and gold and oil. South America is royal dainties, is rich with oil, all kinds of wood and things that they took back to rebuild up Europe after all of that war from the fall of Rome. You understand? All of that wealth, so much wealth that many of the Europeans left Europe altogether to move into those principalities that were set up by the conquistadors all in South America. You understand? So that's what it's talking about with the tribe of Asher. Keep going.
Verse 21. Naphtali is a hind let loose.
Naphtali is a hind. A hind is a deer, a wild deer that runs and goes very fast. That's the brothers from Argentina to Chile. The symbol for the tribe of Naphtali is the deer or the roebuck. Buck with big antlers, big crown of a headpiece on. Naphtali is a hind let loose. You understand? Keep going.
He giveth goodly words.
He giveth goodly words. You understand? Keep going.
Verse 22. Joseph is a fruitful bough.
Bough, a fruitful bow. A bow or bough is talking about the branches of a tree that stretch everywhere. The tribe Joseph was Jacob's son. Joseph had two sons. He was sold into slavery in Egypt by his brothers. He was sold to the Ishmaelites, who are the Arabs, who have always been notorious slave traders, who sold him to Pharaoh. And from the dungeons of the prisons in Egypt, he rose to power to become second in command of all of Egypt. You understand? Joseph had two sons in the land of Egypt. Joseph's two sons were Ephraim, which is the forefather of the so-called Puerto Ricans. Their symbol is the unicorn, which is not a unicorn like you see in My Little Ponies. It is a unicorn, which is a goat whose horns have grown together, which is very rare that you see that. That is the symbol for the tribe of Ephraim. You understand? Then it also says the tribe of Manasseh, which are the so-called Cubans. The symbol for the tribe of Manasseh is the bull. You understand? I believe that bull is probably Cuba's national dish as well. You understand? Talking about Ephraim and Manasseh. It said it's a fruitful bow. Keep going.
Even a fruitful bow by a well.
Even a fruitful bow by a well. By a well is saying these things for a very important reason, because a tree that is planted by a well gets plenty of water. It's able to grow, it's able to branch out, it's able to expand. And that is what the tribe of Ephraim is notorious for being able to do. The Bible says that Ephraim, I don't think it's in here, it might be in another chapter. Ephraim was not born yet when he died, because Joseph, no, I think they were already in Egypt at this time. It should be Ephraim is a cake. Well, I don't have time to get to it, but it says Ephraim is a cake not turned. It's a cake that's not turned, because if you bake a cake in the oven, and you don't flip it, one side will be very light, the other side will be brown, different shades of brown. And if you look at the tribe of Ephraim, the Ephraimites come in every color you can imagine. Very, very light to sometimes, many times, they look as though they are so-called Edomites. They can look like they're white. They can be very dark, very light-skinned, caramel, bright brown, red, all kinds of shades and colors. There's no way to tell who is an actual one of us and who is not. They can all be Israelites. That is very characteristic of the tribe of Ephraim, you understand, for that reason. All right. And to a lesser degree, the tribe of Manasseh as well. As a matter of fact, I have that Hosea chapter 7 and verse 8. You stay where you are. It says, Ephraim, he have mixed themselves among the people. Ephraim is a cake not turned. Ephraim is a cake that has not been flipped over, meaning it's the exact same cake, even though it's very, very light in the middle, very, very brown here, very, very almost looks like it's not done over here. That's talking about the tribe of Ephraim. Ephraim is known for that. You understand? And their book is a goodly bow. The branches go everywhere, because you could be looking at someone. Now you can pretty much do it with any tribe, but of the tribe of Ephraim, you won't know who you're looking at. You think you're talking to a devil. It could be a brother or a sister. Like Ephraim was the original tribe known for that because of what they did. All right, so keep going.
Kanawakan, whose branches run over the wall.
His branches run over the wall. His branches are going over the wall because instead of being where he's supposed to be, Ephraimites are going everywhere. And they're known for pretending and passing themselves off as white people. They're known for doing that. The tribe of Ephraim is very known for doing that. And that's why there's a prophecy about it, because they can be in different shades, even though have the same parents, where one side of the family looks this way, the other side looks that way, and they come from the exact same parents. You understand? Now, Ephraim was always known for that. You understand? All right, so skip down. Let's just get this last trial so we can get out of here. Go down to verse 27. Let's get Benjamin. All right.
Genesis chapter 49, verse 27. Benjamin shall raven as a wolf.
Benjamin shall raven as the wolf. The tribe of Benjamin. It's our last tribe, the tribe of Benjamin, who was the youngest son of Jacob. It says Benjamin shall raven or howl as the wolf. There's a specific way that you will hear. If you listen to the music from the Benjamites, you will learn and hear how the brothers and sisters of the tribe of Benjamin, how they speak. They're very rough, a very raw and gritty, raw, rough sound when you hear the tribe of Benjamin speak. That's what it means, shall raven as the wolf. And the symbol for the tribe of Benjamin is the wolf. You understand? That's why. So keep going.
In the morning he shall devour the prey.
In the morning he shall devour the prey. Keep going.
And at night he shall divide the spoil.
And at night he shall divide the spoil. The tribe of Benjamin has always been known for working, excessive working. The tribe of Benjamin. You understand? And also always known for sending money back home. Always sending money back home. Sending money everywhere. Benjamites always working and always giving out. Always. You understand? Another tribe known for excessive working and always giving out money. You understand? To the family, to everywhere. The tribe of Benjamin as well. All right. So these are the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel, according to the prophecies that their father had given to them. You understand? So these are in addition to Deuteronomy 28 and all the rest of the prophecies and everything that the Most High gave. This is identifying the children of Israel, the nation of Israel. All right. So you can take this down. Y'all can go back and watch it, everything. We're going to wrap it up there. We're way over the time to why y'all sticking in there. All right. Clap it up and get up out of here. All right. So with that, you understand, Most High in Christ. We're going to just do one salute to the brothers. Yahweh Shemel Shabbarakathum. The sisters, Yahweh Shamar Alathan. Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah. Make sure y'all pay y'all tithes, like, share, subscribe, thumb up, and share these videos everywhere, all your social media pages. Be sure to leave comments. Check on the same page. We got our series, The Bible is Black, right on Isupk Virginia, No Cowards Richmond, whatever channel you watching on. The Child Molestation series, The Bible is Black series, our camp speakings. Make sure you thumb up, like, share, and subscribe. Tune in right here. The very next class is going to be that biblical Hebrew class on Friday. Talk about Officer Yerusha. Make sure you learn the Lashawan Kodash, which is our native language and tongue that the Most High gave to us. All right. And with that, shalom.